This morning on Daybreak, how those who suffer from anxiety can cope with the growing fears of the coronavirus.
And with that fear spreading, the coronavirus is also causing some schools to take classes solely online.
Arkansas has also confirmed its case, and Governor Hutchinson is now declaring a state of public health emergency. We'll have the story on that and more coming up this morning for you on Daybreak.
Good morning and welcome back into the show on this Thursday. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano. We are moving along here with a lot of stories regarding the coronavirus, both in the Ozarks and around the nation and world.
We'll have a new take from Nigel McDonald here in just a few minutes. That's a story that we told you briefly about that has to do with mental health.
That's right. So we want to start off, though, your morning with a check of your forecast. Meteorologist Elisa Rappa joins us. You know, this is the last day of school for a lot of these kids before spring break. A lot of folks, including SPS, have tomorrow off. So what are they looking at as they get moving?
I didn't even know that. We're going to have a really warm day on tap today, but that's going to bring us the threat of severe storms. So need to stay weather aware today. Starting out with some dense fog possible out there this morning to the south and east. It goes until 10 a.m. South and east of Springfield from West Plains to Eminence and Mountain Grove, where that visibility could drop to a quarter mile or less at times. We've got some clouds in Springfield with that temperature at 54 degrees on some southerly winds. Not finding too much fog yet, but we are finding that dense fog from Poplar Bluff up to St. Louis. So it's nearby and could start to seep towards the Ozarks. Cloudy skies out there this morning. Some showers breaking out to the north from Nevada, Clinton, and Lake of the Ozarks. They're pretty light, no lightning in there. Temperatures are about 5 to 10 degrees warmer now than they were this time yesterday. It's 54 degrees in Springfield, 55 in Branson, and a pair of 5s also in Harrison. So some fog to start. We'll have some scattered showers and storms this afternoon, but they'll be widely scattered. I don't expect major or widespread road impacts. We'll have temperatures in the low to middle 70s today, very warm, and that's what's going to fuel a severe threat. We've got that yellow slight risk just to the east of Springfield. Details on what to expect coming up in 10 minutes.
We start this hour with some medical coverage for you. For someone with clinical anxiety or OCD, coronavirus headlines can really trigger episodes of intense anxiety and compulsive behavior.
That's why NAMI of Southwest Missouri is working to address ways to handle COVID-19 if you or someone you know deals with mental illness. Color 10's Nigel McDonald joins us this morning to share NAMI's efforts. Nigel?
Well, good morning, Lauren and Joe. NAMI's Keep Calm and Stay Safe event provides its clients with education and coping tools for future anxieties and other unwanted feelings and thoughts surrounding COVID-19. Addie Blankenship of NAMI says the coronavirus is alarming all kinds of people.
For anybody who may not identify having a mental illness, it's scary.
Blankenship says these fears can be exemplified in someone with obsessive compulsive disorder or other forms of debilitating anxiety.
It can be really uncomfortable and really stressful for somebody.
Which is why the organization is working to educate our community.
We've had a lot of folks who have verbalized anxiety over this. So we decided we're going to be proactive.
She says this includes reminding their clients of things like
wash your hands. If you are sick, stay home. If you're feeling depressed or anxious, reach out to your doctor, your therapist. Come to us for support.
Janet Plemons works and volunteers at NAMI. Plemons says anxiety is also a part of her everyday life.
It's like a constant nervous almost situation, you know. Especially with this virus, the coronavirus.
She admits it's hard not to think about COVID-19 at times.
I am at risk because of my age. I'm over 60 and have a compromised immune system.
Plemons says she wants to learn ways to stay safe, not just for herself, but for those around her.
I think the key word is coping skills. I want to be able to not let the mental illness take over, make me frantic or upset my daily life.
Blankenship says anyone who is struggling can visit NAMI for accurate information surrounding the coronavirus. Well, NAMI also offers support groups and meetings, and you can visit our website at ozarksfirst.com to learn more information on how to seek help.
All right, thank you, Nija. Local senior living centers are also taking prevention steps for their residents, also in that category of more at risk of getting the coronavirus. Staff is enforcing the basics like hand washing, but they've also implemented new visitation policies and a new evaluation system. Because in addition to being elderly, a lot of the residents have underlying respiratory symptoms, which make them more susceptible to illness if they're infected. The facility sent out letters to all residents and families reminding them to cover their faces if they sneeze or cough and to discourage visitation if you have any cold or flu-like symptoms. The staff also implemented an internal screening assessment.
And that's for if they have any sort of symptoms, anything like that, we can go through this assessment and kind of see if it's corona related, if it's, just a cold.
There's another retirement community in Springfield, the Montclair, putting in place visitation restrictions. According to its website, visitors are limited to one adult family member who must be healthy with no flu-like symptoms. And also over at Quail Creek, visitors experiencing a high temperature or who have traveled through an area with coronavirus cases will not be allowed to enter.
You'll likely notice a lot of bare spots in many store aisles in the Ozarks as fears of COVID-19 increase and officials urge people to stock up in case of an outbreak. The health department, though, is telling you to just stock up on a few weeks' worth of supplies in case coronavirus cases really begin to grow here in the Ozarks, but that might not be an option in some places for much longer. Walmart's released a statement saying managers have been told they can start to limit the number of some items people can buy for high-demand products. Greene County Commissioner Harold Bench believes that's a good idea.
Everyone needs to take a look at what they normally use throughout a month or so, and then be prepared to have that on stock.
Walmart also says they have designated a worker to focus on sanitizing high traffic areas as well as carts and registers.
COVID-19 is also causing some schools to change their schedules. The University of Missouri suspending in-person classes for the rest of the week. Classes will be online next week leading up to spring break. The school expects to resume in-person class after spring break on March 30th. A small group of Mizzou students attended a conference in New Orleans last week where one attendee has become a presumptive positive case of coronavirus. However, there are no confirmed cases currently on campus.
Arkansas has recorded its first case of the coronavirus as Governor Asa Hutchinson announced yesterday that the person infected is from Pine Bluff and currently in isolation at a hospital there. The governor also issued an executive order declaring a public health emergency, stressing that the state of Arkansas won't change the way it's currently operating. Although many states have either banned or severely limited large public gatherings, Hutchinson says no need for that so far.
In Arkansas, with the limited exposure that we have with one case, only one case that is presumed positive, there's not any need for canceling events. I do not see any need for canceling school activities.
Reminder for you now, the new coronavirus causes only mild or moderate symptoms such as a fever or cough. However, for some, especially older adults and people with existing health problems, it can cause more severe illness, including pneumonia.
We've got some dry roads in Springfield with what looks like a few sprinkles on the windshield out there this morning. Got some few light showers up to the north and west. The story for today is a severe threat by this afternoon. Details on timing, on threats, and what to expect coming up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.